Hi, Dr. G here. I've got a treat for you today. Today I'm going to give you several hours of couples therapy in like 15 minutes. You're getting a bargain deal. And it's free. So, can't argue with that deal. I realize that I've been talking in themes on some of these videos, but I think maybe tips would be better. So I'm going to give you like a few highlights of things that come up in couples therapy all the time. Stuff that it may not all apply to you, but that some of it might apply to your relationship. So here you go. What do you do if you're at that point where you think you need couples therapy? Does that mean it's over? Do we break up? What do we do? Here's what I say, whether you come see somebody like me or not. Think about your relationship like it's a house, and your house had a kitchen fire. Now, we got a love it or list it kind of situation here. You need to fix that kitchen one way or the other, because even if you're not staying in that house has got to be ready for the new buyer. So, in this metaphor, you need to figure your stuff out, whether you're staying with your partner or not, because you're going to want another relationship. So you're going to want to have figured out what was wrong and kind of repaired it before you start another relationship, or to make yourself ready and available and marketable, as it were. And if you're staying in this relationship, well, you need to fix whatever the heck went wrong. So either way, there's a need for repair, and we need to acknowledge that. But then I also think in this metaphor, if you need to redo your kitchen anyway, because you had a kitchen fire, well, why rebuild it like it was? That seems sort of wasteful. Like, you got to fix it, but why don't you take this as an opportunity to say, let's make it better. I've always wanted to put in a kitchen island, or open up the space, or repaint the cabinets, or whatever. So in your relationship, when you hit a rocky part, don't just try to get back to like it was. Use this as a chance to pull out your wish lists and look at each other and say, you know, if we're making some tweaks anyway, I've always wanted this. And don't be shy about asking each other. This is the time to put it all out there. You've already hit a rocky spot. This is the love it or list it moment. So why not love it? Why not make it everything you dreamed? Don't just get back to the way it was. So that's tip one. Let's say your relationship is going great, and now your fear is you don't want to come see me. You don't want to end up in couples therapy. How do you keep it going well? I get this one a lot. It's simple. It's hard to do. It's not complicated. It's hard to do. Be extremely nice. Be disgustingly polite. Show crazy amounts of gratitude. And what I mean by this is, too often we take things for granted. Too often things are going well, and the other person doesn't know how happy you are. So say please more. Say thank you. Say I appreciate that you did that. Say I recognize that this isn't your favorite thing and you're doing it because you love me. Put all that out there. Verbalize all of it. Don't assume that he or she can read your thoughts. Be disgustingly polite. Because if things are going well, then hopefully you feel good things about your partner and they feel good things about you. But if it's not put out there, then it can breed resentment. Their brain starts spinning. If it's not communicated, then it's not heard. If you didn't verbally say it with them looking at you, or on a text that you know that it says read, so be super, super polite with every little thing. Thank you for that glass of water. I appreciate that you got me that glass of water. Oh, you're welcome for that glass of water. Would you mind getting me a glass of water? It sounds silly at first, and a lot of people laugh at it, but even the laughter is great bonding to keep couples together. So if it's something ridiculous and you're doing it both with a good intention, well, all the better. Okay, and that brings up another thing, communication. Now, this matters whether you're on the repair end or the sustaining the good thing end of a relationship. I believe couples need regular communication. And everybody knows this isn't groundbreaking, but how do you do it? I like schedule. I like routine. I like something in a calendar. So, I suggest that you set up a weekly State of the Union. A time that you and your partner agree that this may not be fun, the topic may not be pleasant, it might upset us, but it's better to plan for it than be sideswiped. So what we do is we agree, if you're in a really long-lasting relationship, this isn't, 1 month in, okay? You say this day and this time is just for us to bring up big topics. No devices, no other people, no distractions, no TV, no whatever. I mean, you can go out to dinner. You don't need to be solitude alone. Some people prefer that because of privacy. But you're just focused on each other, undivided attention, and that's the time that the speaker knows that they have the other person's undivided attention, and the receiver knows, okay, I'm bracing for whatever big thing might come here. So two things happen. One, it reduces anxiety on one party's end because they know they're going to have a forum. You're guaranteed to be heard. You don't need to make a big fuss to get noticed. You will have your moment. And second, the other party's anxiety is reduced because they're not going to get sideswiped. They're not going to get blindsided. We're not having a nice time at a nice concert and all of a sudden you whisper something in my ear that's going to wreck our whole life or relationship. There's a time and a place for it. And it makes it more productive because hopefully there's not a lot of drugs or alcohol involved. Everybody's clear-headed. Hopefully you knew it was coming, and so you plan on a time when you're not distracted by thoughts or stresses of work or other things. It creates that space for us to have a productive communication, even if it's uncomfortable, even if the topic isn't pleasant. And tied to that, let's wrap up on a more upbeat note. Everybody likes talking about sex. You should have a sex talk with your partner. And if you've been in a relationship more than a few days, you've probably slept with this person or had some sort of sexual relationship with them. But did you really talk about it? So rarely do we talk. There might be flirtation, there might be interaction, but the actual dialogue of what do you like and what do I like or don't like is it's very sensual, it's great for bonding, and it's just very necessary. People have history. People can get triggered. That can spoil a nice moment. Or you might have a fantasy that you've always wanted to tell your partner of many decades. You've never gotten up the gumption to tell him or her. So here's my cheat. Use the Cosmo lie. Or if you're a man watching this, then you can blame it on Men's Health or whatever magazine you read. Or just pick a website. But if you need to hide behind a little modesty or a little fear of judgment, you can say you were reading Cosmo, or you were reading your favorite website, and they mentioned this sexual act or curiosity or whatever. And then you don't need to own it. You don't need to say that you've always wanted this or you always like this from your partners. You can be a little cautious if you would like. I mean, I'd rather you be bold, but sometimes there's some reticence to share something for fear of judgment. So say your friend Susan and her partner tried this thing. However you want to bring it up, so it braces that your partner's not going to judge you, but you still get to bring it up. And if he or she is very excited, well, then maybe you double down and make it clear that actually that wasn't Cosmo, that was me. But if there's some pushback, you don't need to take an ego blow. You don't need your partner to look at you strangely. You can hide behind that, and then when the time is right, maybe you'd bring it up again. And we try to go back into that topic. But sex brings a lot of fear of judgment. Secondarily, though, sex brings a lot of assumptions. And so I think it's important to take a list from Cosmo or similar places. I can provide you with something when you see me, but almost every Cosmo magazine, and again, there's websites to this effect now, it's more and more, will list 13 things to do in the bedroom, 22 ways to drive your partner crazy. So what I have my couples do is buy 2 copies or make a photocopy, and your partner takes a copy and you take a copy, and we circle the things we would like to try. So then you didn't have to say it. You didn't have to come it out of your brain. It's not coming out of your mouth. It's printed there. But it allows you to slide it across the table and for him or her to look at that and go, you want to do number 7? I've always wanted to try number 7. And now we're getting on the same page. We're broadening our sexual horizons. We're dialoguing about what we like. If we didn't both circle that, well then you got the yellow or red light there, so good to know. And now everybody's on the same page. So these are a handful of the couples therapy tips that come up repeatedly in my sessions. And there they are for you. You know what? Here's a bonus one. We've still got time. One last bonus one. Have friends. Don't make your partner your everything. You should love them more than your friends. You should have a special place in your heart or your calendar for them. But don't make them your everything. It's too high a standard. It's too much burden to bear. it's setting them up for failure. It's setting you up for disappointment. Allow yourself and your partner, no jealousy here, to have friends, to have other people to meet other needs. That romantic love, that undying love, that non-judgmental, eternal love, that sexual love, these things should be just for you two. But so many other needs, why put that on that person? If you need somebody to talk to and your partner's not available, go talk to a friend. If you like playing tennis and your partner hates tennis, go play with your friend. If you like going to a certain type of concert and your partner doesn't, go with your cousin. Family's friends too. It doesn't all need to come down to that one person. Because two things happen. They can't bear that standard and inevitably let you down. And secondarily, then were this relationship to fail, then guess what? All those friends and family you've been ignoring suddenly are like, where have you been, Karen? It's interesting you pop back up now that this person's not around. It's not right. You need to learn how to balance. So there's your little bonus tip today. Keep your friends. So that's all from me. Dr. G here, wishing you love and happiness in all your relationships. Be well.